Karen's smirk was wider than the park she strutted through, her designer sunglasses perched like a crown. She just yanked a blind veteran's cane, thinking it'd make a funny TikTok. The park was alive with Saturday kids on swings, joggers weaving through, and vendors hawking hot dogs under a golden September sun. Karen, in her neon yoga gear, had spotted the veteran, Tom, sitting quietly on a bench, his white cane resting against his knee. To her, he was just a prop, another chance to go viral. She snatched the cane, twirled it like a baton, and cackled as her phone recorded. Tom's hands fumbled in the air, his voice low but firm. "Ma'am, I need that back." The crowd froze, a murmur rippling through. Karen didn't care, she was already planning her caption. Tom, a 62-year-old Vietnam vet, had been coming to this park for years. Blinded in combat, he relied on that cane to navigate the world. It wasn't just a tool. It was his independence, his tether to a life he'd fought to rebuild. Karen's stunt wasn't just cruel, it was a violation. Onlookers began to gather, their whispers turning to shouts. A teenage girl, Maya, filming her own skateboarding tricks nearby, caught the whole thing on her phone. She posted it to X, captioning it, "This lady just stole a blind man's cane for clout. Who does this?" Within hours, the video had thousands of retweets, comments flooding with outrage. "Find this Karen," one user demanded. Another posted, "This is why we can't have nice things." The internet was a wildfire, and Karen was the spark. Karen, oblivious to the growing storm, sauntered home, still chuckling over her prank. She lived in a pristine suburban house, complete with a manicured lawn and a fridge stocked with organic kale. Her daughter, Elena, was her pride and joy, a federal prosecutor with a reputation for shredding liars in court. Elena was everything Karen wasn't: disciplined, principled, and allergic to nonsense. When Karen showed her the video, expecting a laugh, Elena's face darkened. "Mom, what the hell is this?" she snapped, her voice like a gavel. Karen waved it off. "Oh, relax, it's just a joke." He got it back. Elena's eyes narrowed. "You humiliated a veteran. For what? Likes?" Karen shrugged, scrolling through her phone, unaware that Maya's video was now trending nationwide. By Monday, the park incident was no longer just a local scandal. News outlets picked it up, with headlines like, "Woman mocks blind veteran in viral video." Ex-users dug into Karen's life, unearthing her real estate job, her flashy Instagram, even her address. The park bench, it turned out, had been damaged when Karen tripped over it in her stunt, leaving splintered wood and a $500 repair bill for the city. Commenters on X were merciless. "She broke public property and disrespected a vet? Lock her up." Elena, meanwhile, was fielding calls from colleagues. "Is that your mom?" one asked, half laughing, half horrified. Elena's stomach churned. She'd spent her career fighting for justice, and now her own mother was the villain in a viral nightmare. The tension boiled over that evening at Karen's house. Elena stormed in, her briefcase slamming onto the counter. "Do you even understand what you've done?" she yelled. Karen, sipping a latte, rolled her eyes. "It's not a big deal, Elena. People overreact." Elena's voice shook. "You stole a blind man's cane, Mom. You broke a bench. You humiliated someone who served this country. And now I'm getting texts from my boss about it." Karen scoffed. "Well, maybe you should tell them to mind their own business." The room crackled with silence. Elena's hands trembled as she pulled out her phone, showing Karen the X posts. "This is you. This is what the world sees. And I'm the one who has to clean it up." The next day, the park became a battleground. A local veterans group organized a protest, demanding Karen apologize publicly. Tom, ever reserved, agreed to attend, not for revenge but to speak about dignity. The crowd swelled: veterans, families, even Maya with her skateboard. Karen, pressured by Elena, showed up, expecting to smooth things over with a half-hearted sorry. Instead, she faced a sea of angry faces. Tom stood at the center, his new cane steady in his hand. "I don't want your apology," he said, his voice cutting through the noise. I want you to understand what you took from me. Karen, for once, was speechless, her usual bravado shrinking under the weight of his words. Elena took the makeshift stage, her prosecutor's poise unshaken. My mother's actions were inexcusable, she began, her voice steady but laced with pain. She thought it was a joke, but it was a betrayal of trust, of decency, of everything we owe those who've sacrificed. The crowd roared in agreement, some holding signs that read, "Justice for Tom." Karen's face burned as she realized the depth of her mistake. Elena continued, as a prosecutor, I fight for accountability. Today, I'm holding my own family accountable. She turned to Karen, her eyes cold. You'll pay for the bench. You'll volunteer at the VA. And you'll face the consequences whatever they are. The fallout was swift and brutal. The city fined Karen for vandalism, and her real estate firm, spooked by the bad press, suspended her. Her Instagram, once a shrine to her ego, was flooded with comments calling her out. Karma's real, one read. Another, hope your daughter throws the book at you. Karen's friends distanced themselves, and her neighbors stopped waving. Elena, meanwhile, worked with the veterans group to ensure Tom got support, including a new cane and counseling. But the personal cost was heavier. Elena could barely look at her mother, the woman who'd raised her, now a symbol of everything she fought against in court. Karen's life unraveled in ways she hadn't imagined. Her prank cost her job, her reputation, and her daughter's respect. She tried to apologize on X, but the post was ratioed into oblivion, with comments like, too late, Karen, and you reap what you sow. At home, she sat alone, scrolling through the hate, her coffee cold. Elena, working late at her office, stared at a photo of her and Karen from happier times. She wanted to forgive, but the wound was too fresh. Tom, back at the park, sat on a new bench donated in his honor. He didn't hate Karen, he pitied her. Some people, he told Maya, learn the hard way. The story spread far beyond the park, sparking debates on X about accountability, privilege, and respect for veterans. Karen became a cautionary tale, a name synonymous with selfish cruelty. Elena, though, emerged as a hero, her integrity shining through the mess. For Tom, it wasn't about revenge but restoration, his dignity intact, his voice heard. Karen's thoughtless act had ignited a fire, but it was her daughter's resolve that brought justice to light. What do you think? Did Karen deserve her downfall, or was the punishment too harsh? Share your thoughts on where justice lies in this messy clash of right and wrong.